So it was a very nice day, and I look forward to going out in the garage, opening up the doors, turning on the music, and just having fun working on this Mustang GT project, something that I try to enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, then I take a break from it, and it's definitely been a longer process and a longer project than any of the other ones, but that's okay. So, order of operations, I wanted to take out this Ford Motorcraft battery that's pretty new that I've been using in my Silver GT and put the battery from my yellow Mach 1 in there that I've had for a while. It's an older battery. I want to get more use out of it before it's dead. It's been sitting in my orange Cobra lately. I play musical batteries. I have so many different batteries and reasons why I have them. But anyway, so I was going to put that Motorcraft one back in the Cobra, and to do that, I got to the point where I looked in there and noticed that I had cleaned the battery tray recently, but I didn't clean underneath the battery tray. So I wanted to clean that up a little bit, just put a little bit of simple green diluted in there and clean out that engine bay. And it wasn't too bad, but it was a little bit gross from over the years. And so I wanted to clean that out and get that all taken care of. And the reason why I wanted the battery in the Orange Cobra right now was because I needed to pull it out of the garage so that I could pull the Tahoe in and get the transmission out of the back for the GT. So it looks clean, looks really nice in there, very happy. Reinstalled the battery tray, and I cleaned up the battery a little bit because it was a little dirty from daily driving, and I put it back in the Cobra. So that went all well, and like I said, my Tahoe, in the back I have the transmission, and it's the one that actually came in the zinc yellow GT project car. I bought it from the previous owner. He was parting out some stuff he still had left on the car, and so I had bought that transmission. So I wanted to clean it up a little bit. So I was looking forward to getting this transmission and going through a little bit of it. I think it's been rebuilt at some point because it has blue RTV around the casing, and so I think it's been gone through at some point. I asked the previous owner how good of a transmission it was and if it had any grinding or any problems, and he said no, absolutely not. It shifted just fine. So hopefully that's true. But it is the original transmission to the car. And so I had a lot of things that I wanted to do to it. Like he was missing the hardware for the shifter and the throw-out bearings, trash, and lots of stuff like that. So I was going to do all that and clean it up and evaluate it. So beautiful view of the Cobra while I work here. Love just enjoying time in the garage. And so I went through and I found some hardware that fit okay, and then I went through my boxes of hardware and found better hardware that would bolt up the best to this, and then I used Scotch-Brite on the mating surface for the shifter, and I just put the shifter on without RTV yet. I did get an extra transmission brace. I had the one he had given me, but it was torn up, and I found one of these clips that slides in for the transmission brace and to the body of the car. The rear seal looked like it was torn up really bad, but it turns out it was just this part of the seal. The inner seal was fine. So I had ordered a new one, but it didn't match with this one, so this must be a different type. I just did black electrical tape around it, got it nice and firm to put it back in. We'll see how that goes. I have the other seal if I have to tear it all out, but we'll try that out. I got the transmission brace in and got hardware that matched for it just to test fit it. And then I decided to go ahead and put the starter on and just play around with it. And I'm glad I did, because you can see this bolt is completely stripped. And so I'm really glad that I found that out now, so I could run a longer bolt with the same threads and it catches deeper inside, and then it actually comes out the back side there. And so I spent some time getting hardware. I had perfectly good starter bolts for this, and this starter that came off of the silver GT that was in the wrecking yard. But that hardware, the only one that fit was the very top one, which a lot of people don't put back in because it's so hard to get to. But I might have to have that in there just to keep everything good. And then the other two, I can use longer bolts to go through, and I got it all to work nicely. So I'm glad that I played around with that for now. And so the pivot ball stud looked all right. I had a new one anyway, so I thought I might as well use this one. It was wearing a little bit, but it wasn't awful. But I thought, hey, I have a brand new one, might as well use it. And then I cleaned the clutch fork and went out and degreased it all and got it all ready to go. Put a new throwout bearing on it that I had. It's a Ford one. I think it might be out of my red Cobra or my orange Cobra. I can't remember. I had a couple low mileage ones that I hardly used, and I bought a brand new one when I did the Cobra's retainer sleeve, and it was just done by the previous owner. So I think that's the throwout bearing I had. Not quite sure, but it feels really good. So I'm really happy about that. So we'll put this all together and see how it goes. And it's just fun to get the transmission out and get all these things taken care of and get it ready to go. So thanks for watching. That's the update for now. Stay tuned for more Mustang content and more of this build.